My name is Derek Green. My current place of work is Philadelphia City Council, where I serve as a special counsel to the majority leader, and I was in the 2006 CPL class. Okay. As a chief legislative aide and special counsel, I'm really kind of a jack of all trades. I wear a lot of different hats, both literally and actually in the City Council. Working with the majority leader of the Philadelphia City Council, who is Councilwoman Mary B. Tasco, I'm involved in legislative activities, helping her craft legislation as well as public policy in Philadelphia and city government. I was campaign manager for state representative. Well, he was running for state representative, Byron Davis, although we were not fortunate in winning, but that was a good campaign where I was a campaign manager. I was a campaign manager for State Senator Leanna Washington. That was a successful campaign. I was a campaign advisor for State Representative Sherelle Parker. I've worked on Seth Williams' campaign for DA in 2005, and I'm working on that now as well. There's been a number of other campaigns. I've had all kinds of different levels of involvement, from working with Rob McCord, who became the state treasurer, to working with my own boss, Councilman Mary Tasco, on her re-election efforts, working with State Representative Dwight Evans when he ran for mayor, and I'm sure there's a few campaigns in between here and there that I've worked on. And I've also worked with some other friends who are running for judicial races, from Al Speck-DeVoe to a friend of mine, Jonathan Irvine, has been running for a judge. Shannon Lozier, who ran as a co-worker, ran for judge before, has been running for judge again, and a few campaigns in between. So I've been involved in campaigns from a lot of different perspectives, both from grassroots community person to person running for statewide office. One piece of legislation that we worked on has been predatory lending. Prior to joining Councilman Tasco's staff, I was a deputy city solicitor in the law department, and she wanted to help a constituent that was having an issue with predatory loan. As a result of her action and me working with a few other attorneys and consumer activists, we drafted one of the nation's first anti-predatory lending ordinances, which became a model for a lot of different cities across the country. More recently, this past spring, right before the housing bubble started to burst, we actually drafted a resolution calling for a moratorium on foreclosures in the city of Philadelphia. And we worked with Sheriff John Green, as well as then President Judge C. Darnell Jones, to ask for a moratorium on foreclosure sales. And as a result of working with Sheriff Green and President Judge Jones, what we were able to do is put together a mortgage foreclosure diversion program. And basically with this program, the way it works is that if you're a person and your house is about to go out for foreclosure, a bank cannot bring your house to foreclosure unless you go through a conciliation conference. And at this conciliation conference, you have a judge, as well as a housing counselor, a pro bono attorney, and also the lender for the bank, trying to work out a payment plan to keep the person in their home. As a result of this program, which started this past spring, we've saved about 635 households from going to foreclosure. Just this past past Monday, Mayor Michael Nutter announced an initiative where he was able to get about $275,000 from private corporations to work with this foreclosure diversionary program to provide additional marketing dollars to let more people know about the program. And it's been very successful in the sense that we have a number of cities all across the country looking at this program. I know Senator Robert Casey from Pennsylvania has actually had hearings regarding this program and has recommended this program to President Obama. Okay, when I think about the skills I learned as a CPL fellow, I think I really came with a very focused approach. I knew in 2007 I was going to run for office. So when I tried to use CPL, it's kind of like, okay, Derek, you want to run for office, what are some of the things you need to work on? And so I think for me, I use CPL to kind of really polish up on those skills that I need to prepare myself to run for office, and also help put together a strategic plan. My thinking in putting together the PPLP, I was really focusing only up to city council and running for city council. And most of my 5, 10, 15-year plans were only up to a certain point. I think for CPL, for a personal level, the skill helped me to think beyond that. And really, where do you want to go long term? I think the backwards mapping project of looking at the end of your career and how you got there and kind of working backwards was really a good skill for me, because I've always been thinking of going forward. So having an opportunity to really assess myself from where I may end up and going back and the steps of getting there really was a good personal and interpersonal development skill I think I gathered from CPL. I think other skills at CPL are very helpful in reference to fundraising, making media presentations, elevator speeches, all these type of skills, which I had developed over time, but really having a concentrated time period to really focus on, okay, this weekend we're going to focus on this issue and really working in depth on that issue. I think that was a skill, and among other skills I really got from CPL.